December 2018.
Ibikule Amoso.
Welcome to Celebration Television News Desk. My name is Kweta Belis and thank you for joining us. Now the news making the headlines. On the local scene, court sends Showere to 45-day detention. Nigerians attack federal government. And still on the local scene, the World Evangelism Conference, Pastor Chris Oyakilome and Benny Hinn. On international news, China on red alert as Typhoon Lekima bears down on East Coast. On business, total pension assets rise to 9.32 trillion naira. And on sports, the Tigers lose to Canada in Toronto. The details of that news after the break. Welcome back. On local news, court sends Showere to 45-day detention. Nigerians attack federal government. The federal government and the judiciary came under attack on Thursday as the Federal High Court in Abuja granted the Department of State Services permission to detain the publisher of Sahara Reporters and convener of the #RevolutionNow protest, Omoyele Showere, for 45 days. Operatives of the DSS had on Saturday arrested Showere over his call for revolution ahead of the #RevolutionNow protest, which held in some parts of the country on Monday. Ruling on an ex-parte application by the security agency to detain Showere for 90 days to investigate him for treason-related allegations, the judge, Justice Taiwo, granted the agency permission to hold the activist for only 45 days. According to the judge, the 45 days period started from Thursday, lapses on September 21st, the date he also fixed for the next hearing session in the case. He, however, said that the order of detention for 45 days was subject to renewal for further days upon an application by the security agency in the event that its investigation could not be concluded within the first 45 days. Applying for the detention order earlier on Tuesday, the DSS, through its lawyer, Mr. Gio Abadua, argued the ex-parte application, which it anchored on the provisions of Section 27, Subsection 1 of the Terrorism Prevention Amendment Act 2013. Still on the local news, the NYSC searches for missing corps member in Edo. The National Youth Service Corps is currently searching for a missing corps member in Edo State, Akigbe Eremosele, while assuring his family that the scheme will do everything possible to reunite him with his parents. The NYSC Director General, Brigadier General Shaibu Ibrahim, who met with Eremosele's family member in Auchi, Edo State, said the police and other security agencies were making frantic efforts on the matter. The DG said efforts are in top gear with all security agencies to find your son and to reunite him with the family. We will bring him back home safely and he will come to the comfort of his family. While receiving the DG on behalf of the family, the mother, Mrs. Dora Akigbe, and the elder brother to the missing corps member, Mr. Jerry Akigbe, thanked the NYSC Director General for the visit. Still on the local scene, the World Evangelism Conference, Pastor Chris Oyakilome and Benny Hinn. The World Evangelism Conference is the first of its kind global convergence of ministers of the gospel, church pastors, and leaders for training, equipping, and impartation for fervent soul winning and evangelism in these last days. This landmark conference has been specially orchestrated for the Spirit of God for global evangelism awakening and to ignite a fresh zeal, fire, and passion for relentless soul winning and evangelism in all the nations of the world. Scheduled to hold from Friday 9th August to Sunday 11th August 2019 at the SSE Arena, Wembley, United Kingdom, it promises to be an unprecedented time of training, blessing, and impartation of grace for greater and more effective ministry. Ministering at the program will be Reverend Chris Oyakilome, DSC, DD, President of Love World Incorporated, Pastor Benny Hinn, President of and founder of Benny Hinn Ministry, and other renowned ministers of the gospel from around the world. The conference scheduled will include plenary sessions, workshops and breakout sessions, exhibitions, welcome luncheon, award ceremonies, and lots more. Still on local news, Omega Fire Ministries International Protocol Week. The Omega Fire Ministries International Protocol Week, hosted by Protocol Unit of the Ministry, has been a swell time. This program is slated for 8th and 9th August 2019, and today the Restoration Apostle promised to be present in a statement made by him during the Sunday service held on the 4th of August 2019. The Restoration Apostle, who was earlier in Cape Town, South Africa, for the usual Open Heaven series with an unusual grace, had made it sure to be available in this program. However, this anticipation must surely produce for the attendees of the same program as many that are ready for a divine visitation. Coming up next is news from the foreign scene. Stay there, we'll be right back.
Jesus! An outpour of grace, clothed with power for the Great Commission. Touch! Touch! A season for harvest and restoration. Open Heavens Asaba 2019 with the Restoration Apostle Johnson Suleiman. 8th and 9th October 2019. The time is 8 a.m. and 4 p.m. daily. For inquiries, please call +234 816 839 8331 or +234 701 003 6999. Open Heavens Asaba 2019. Grace shall locate you.
Welcome back. From the foreign scene, China on red alert as Typhoon Lekima bears down on East Coast. Chinese authorities have declared a red alert as the powerful typhoon heads towards the East Coast. Typhoon Lekima is currently battering Taiwan with winds of more than 190 kilometers per hour and is due to make landfall in China's Zhejiang province on Saturday. Emergency teams have been deployed to the region to guide relief work, China's emergency minister said. Thousands of people further up the coast in Shanghai have been warned to prepare to evacuate. Flood warnings have been issued for eastern sections of the Yangtze River and the Yellow River until Wednesday. The provinces of Jiangsu and Shandong are also on alert. Cruise liners have been told to delay their arrivals in Shanghai, and some train services have been suspended over the weekend. Lekima is one of two typhoons in the West Pacific at the moment. Further east typhoons Crosa are speeding heavy rain across the northern Mariana Island and Guam. It is moving northwest and could strike Japan sometime next week, forecasters said. Now, still on the foreign scene, Australia weather, fierce winds batter southern state and snap pier. Destructive winds have battered Australia's southeastern states, causing road accidents, power cuts, and snapping the end of popular pier. Dozens of flights from airports in Sydney and Melbourne were also cancelled on Friday as winds gusted up to 120 kilometers per hour in some areas. Authorities said part of the Frankston Pier in Melbourne had broken off as gale whipped up rough sea. Meteorologists called it the region's coldest weather system of the year. The last time southeastern Australia saw a system of the intensity was in 2014, a spokesman from the Bureau of Meteorology told the BBC. The Bureau said the icy conditions made it feel like the temperature was below 0 degrees centigrade in areas of Victoria. The worst affected states on Friday. In the Melbourne suburbs of Frankston, local shared images online of the section of pier drifting in Port Phillips Bay before washing up on the beach. Coming next is news from the world of business. Stay right there.
The city of Manchester is about to be renewed.
Any member of your family who is fighting your lifting, by the power of the Holy Spirit, I clear them out of the way.
And God sent forth his spirit for divine recreation through his servant Apostle Johnson Suleiman. Open Heavens 2019, 26th and 27th August.
Welcome back. News from the world of business. Total pensions assets rise to 9.32 trillion naira. The total asset under the contributory pension scheme rose to 9.32 trillion naira as the end of June 2019. The funds, which had continued to record a steady rise, hit 8.33 trillion naira as the end of August 2018. Figures obtained from the National Pension Commission on Thursday revealed 69.5% of the assets were invested in the FGN securities. The Pension Reform Act, which introduced the CPS, was inaugurated in 2004, and it provides a contributory arrangement in which the employer and the employee contribute to the workers' RSAs. However, the CPS was only being made available to the formal sector since inception until the federal government officially extended it to the informal sector in March 2019. The Acting Director General, PENCOM, Mrs. Aisha Dahir Umar, said the micro pension plan targeted the majority of Nigerian working population who incidentally operated in the informal sector. The President Pension Fund operator, Mrs. Aderonke Adedeji, said it was important for the informal sector workers to key into the micro pension scheme. She noted that the industry had invested a lot to ensure that all workers, including those in the informal sector, had pensions to fall back on in their old age. PenUp noted that it was cogent for the contributors to update their information with the PFAs to notify the operators of any change that could have occurred in their details since the time they joined the scheme. Some of the irregularities the operator observed were that some contributors had irregular names, change of address, and multiple PFAs. The association said it was important for the contributors to avail the PFA of the National Identification Number, now a mandatory requirement to access pension benefits. It urged contributors to participate in data recapturing in the sector. Still from the world of business, 17 power stations cut output as demand plunges. 17 of the nation's 27 power stations have been forced to shut down some of their units on the back of low demand of electricity distribution companies, worsening the blackout being experienced by millions of customers across the country. Total power generation in the country dropped to 2,841.1 megawatts as of 6 a.m. on Thursday from 3,129.8 megawatts on Wednesday, data obtained by our correspondent from the Nigeria Electricity System Operator showed. The amount of electricity generated by the power station stood at 2,896.5 megawatts as of 6 a.m. on Tuesday, as 2,603.7 megawatts could not be produced due to low load demand by Discos. The nation's three hydropower plants, namely Jeba, Shiroro, and Kianji, saw their output decline by 285 megawatts, 400 megawatts, and 22 megawatts respectively to 148 megawatts, 180 megawatts, and 198 megawatts. 3 units of Jeba 2G2, 2G4, and 2G5 and Shiro's 411 G3 unit were shut down due to the Discos low demand. E-gas-fired power plants that suffered decline in their generation were Egbin 100 megawatts, the nation's biggest power station, Olorunshogo 1, 114 megawatts, Seregu 1, 220 megawatts, Omotosho 1, 76 megawatts, Azura Edo IPP 309 megawatts, Opai IPP 196 megawatts, Afam IPP 294 megawatts, and others 50 megawatts. Others were Odupani and NIPP 220 megawatts, Delta 185 megawatts, Afam 5 and 4 20 megawatts, Geregu NIPP 65 megawatts, Sapele 16 megawatts, and Omotosho NIPP 35.7 megawatts. Geregu 1, Delta, Azura Edo IPP, and Odupani NIPP shut down 1 unit each, while Odupani NIPP and Afam 6 shut down 2 units each. On sport news, the Tigers lose to Canada in Toronto. The details of that news will come after the break.
At least spiritual action that will provoke heaven's divine reactions about to happen in the city of Dubai, United Arab Emirates. Open Heavens 2019, Apostle Johnson Suleiman, October, expected. The at least spiritual action that will provoke heaven's divine reactions about to happen in the city of Dubai, United Arab Emirates. Open Heavens 2019, Apostle Johnson Suleiman, October, expected.
Welcome back. On sports news, the Tigers lose to Canada in Toronto. The Tigers lost 96-87 to Canada in an exhibition game played at the Matami Athletic Center in Toronto in the early hours of Thursday. It was the Tigers' first loss in their preparatory game ahead of the FIBA 2019 World Cup in China, after they had earlier recorded back-to-back wins over Dominican Republic last month in Atlanta, USA. Alex Nwora's men started the game brilliantly in the first quarter, winning 20-14, but failed to sustain the tempo as the Canadians bounced back in the second quarter to lead 50-41. The host, Canada, extended their lead in the third quarter to 74-62 before wrapping up the game with a 96-87 win. Minnesota Timberwolves star Josh Okogie was the Tigers' top performer in the defeat, posting 18 points, while Stan Okoye and Ike Iregu recorded 16 and 12 points respectively. Chimezie Metu also churned in 11 points. The win was Canada's second straight exhibition win following their 1964 win over Paraguay on Wednesday, while it was their second win over the Tigers in 2 years. They had earlier lost 82-67 to Canada in the men's preliminary round Pool A game at the basketball event and Gold Coast 2018 Commonwealth game in Australia. The Tigers will take on Canada again in Winnipeg on Friday, that's today, in their next test game. They are drawn in Group B along with Russia, Argentina, and South Korea. Still on sports, Mane battles Messi, Ronaldo for Best Champions League Forward Award. The Senegal international could be rewarded for this sterling performance last season in the European competition. Liverpool forward Sadio Mane has been nominated for the 2018-2019 UEFA Champions League Best Forward Award. The 27-year-old delivered impressive performances in the competition last season to help the Reds win the tournament for the first time in 14 years. Mane scored 4 goals in the run to the title, including his brace against Bayern Munich, which helped the side claim a 3-1 victory in the second leg of the round of 16. The Senegal international will complete his Barcelona star forward Lionel Messi and Juventus ace Cristiano Ronaldo for a chance to win the prize. Mane is the only African player who made the final shortlist for the award, with his teammate and Egypt forward Mohamed Salah coming fourth in the same category. Ajax and Cameroon goalkeeper Andre Onana failed to make the final nomination after finishing 5th in the goalkeepers category, while his teammate and Morocco midfielder Hakim Ziyech came 8th in the midfielders group. The winner of the awards will be announced during the 2019-2020 Champions League group stage draw in Monaco on Thursday, August 29. Still on sports, Ighalo faces disciplinary action over social media activities. Retired Nigerian striker Odion Ighalo will face disciplinary action following his activities on social media. His club, Shanghai Shenhua, made this known in a press statement released via Weibo on Thursday. According to the statement, Ighalo violated the Chinese side rule and regulations on social media by uploading pictures of his rehabilitation in Spain. Ighalo, who is the 2019 African Cup of Nations top scorer, suffered a knee injury against Tunisia in Nigeria's third-place game in the competition. The statement read in part, Shanghai Greenland Shenhua Football Club attached great importance to this matter and talked with Ighalo. The club asked Ighalo to put all his energy into rehabilitation and submit treatment and training reports to the club on time. Now that's the size of the news on Celebration Television News Desk, and if you are just joining us, here is a recap of the headlines. Local news: court sends Sowore to 45-day detention. Nigerians attack federal government. The World Evangelism Conference, Pastor Chris Oyakilome and Benny Hinn. From the international scene, China on red alert as Typhoon Lekima bears down on East Coast. And in the world of business, total pension assets rise to 9.32 trillion naira. And on sports, the Tigers lose to Canada in Toronto. Now you can also follow us on our social media handles. On Facebook, we are Celebration TV. On Instagram, My Celebration TV. On Twitter, at My Celebration TV. And of course, on YouTube, we are Celebration TV. Now, my name is Kweta Belis, and you have a great and wonderful weekend. Thank you.
To 15.7 trillion naira at the end of December 2018.
Senior Democrats have responded by accusing him of committing a gross offense.
The All Progressives Congress has vowed to punish the Ogun State Governor Ibikunle Amoso